What's up, guys? John from Heavysettactical here. Hope you guys had a great holiday. Honestly, mine did not turn out as planned, but sometimes that's okay because you can still really get your objectives achieved. And for the holidays, guys, mine is always spending time with family, getting to give them gifts that, I've methodically thought out and got them, and just getting to see my niece and nephew. So, it was a great holiday. It was a success. It was not a planned holiday, but it was a successful one. So here, we had a knife come in from my buddy Gabe from the Last Huntsman channel. The Last Huntsman, M-A-N. He sent me this knife. He had a couple knives sent to him from Demko, and he hooked me up with this one. This is the Shark Cub. It's kind of the light version with AUS 10 steel, made in Taiwan. Let me blow my nose real fast, guys. Sorry. So unprofessional. Okay. I think I got a cold from my niece. So, I actually got such a kick out of carrying this knife. Then I saw, of all people, I don't watch his channel much, but Metal Complex, pretty big channel for folders. He reviewed this Demko Shark Cub premium version. So this is the quote-unquote non-premium version. They're about $80, which is totally awesome. So I sent Gabe one of my folders because I just appreciated this so much. He just sent it to me for free. So I ended up making a trade with him, which was cool. So maybe you guys will see that on his channel. Gabe's a good buddy of mine. He's a great person, and just a hell of a gear reviewer. So, right off the bat, some thoughts. I guess I didn't realize how thin the blades were on here, because it doesn't feel thin when you're operating it, strangely. So this is the 20CV DLC version, which they labeled these handle scales. I thought they were titanium, but I think they're actually aluminum. They were listed as aluminum. I'm sorry, I thought they were titanium, but they're aluminum, I believe. I'm about 99% sure. That's what it said on the Blade HQ website when I looked it up. And they were actually, funny enough, listed as OD green. And I think they're more of a desert FDE. Like if you took like 80% FDE, flat dark earth, and put 20%, or maybe even like 75, I don't know. I'm going to say like 85-15. If you took spring FDE, flat dark earth color, and just put a couple drops of slate gray in there, that's kind of where this lies. So I would really not call it OD green. But man, the pivots, how nice they look, accenting with the hardware. All the goodies are in black. This one is Taiwanese made like the other, but it's in 20 CV blade steel. Pretty cool. So you can see CPM 20 CV Taiwan. A lot of people are really not going to like these because they're not American made. But let's be honest, if they were American made, they wouldn't be $230. They'd be like $400 for this little guy or something crazy. I believe in American manufacturing, I really do. But when it comes to a maker like Demko, he makes his in-house, American-made stuff that's real premium, which I still have a little bit of a bone to pick with him because I guess so many people logged on maybe for the drop of the 8020 compact, the full thickness compact. They were like 700, and guys, I'm really sorry to say this out loud. I have no problem with Demko, but like, look, when Les George's stuff, that's a company I love, when his stuff gets sold in drops on DLT trading, at least 3 of every one dropped, or 2 or 3 at least, are posted on eBay. They sell for $400 and $470, and they're posted on eBay the next day or next week for, you know, almost double that. They're posted right now for $700 when they were like $450 online. Even the plain Janes are $699 plus tax, so that's and the eBay fees, so that's like $730 for a $450 folder from Les George. So that situation occurring in America drives me absolutely insane when it comes to these makers that we know and love, especially American makers like Les George. There are so many of us that are in his fan group that are just very appreciative of his work, and bang, a bunch of stuff is grabbed by him off of DLT trading and sold on eBay. So then we have to, if we miss the drop because we're at work or someone's taking care of their kids or whatever, then they have to go online on eBay if they really want one and pay $730 for it on eBay when it was only $450. So that happens with the Demkos. That's where I was getting at, but you know me, I like to rant sometimes. The AD20 Compact that dropped the other day is only $650 or $700. American-made, full thickness, titanium and magna cut, whatever. They are being sold on eBay right now. There's at least two on eBay for $1,500 and $1,600. So that's actually more than double what they're worth. Double what they're worth would be $1,400, $1,500. And instead they're $1,500 and $1,600. So it just makes me sick. You know, get a real job. What are you doing? You know, they have to pay for tax and shipping when they buy the knife, then tax and shipping when they sell the knife. So they're only making $100 a knife profit. I don't understand where the big influx of money's coming from. Okay, I've spent about enough time ranting about my issues with the knife world and these bots from China that buy up all the knives and sell them all over eBay. I think it's terribly unfair for the enthusiasts like me. So, guys, again, I really enjoyed this first one so much. It just has this like really useful, it's nice and small. Reminds me of the PM3, the Para 3 by Spyderco. Just that size of a knife. Also reminds me a little bit of a Oz Machine Co. Rosie. So then they came out with the premium one. And what's interesting about this is I didn't realize that the premium one would not have these same handle scales. Oh my God. When I line these up, right, look at how much thicker the light version is. Now let's put them back to back, shall we? Oh my God. The blade thickness is the same. The gap, guys, I'm not measuring the gap in between the liners there, the steel liners, because this doesn't have liners. I'm not measuring that gap. I'm measuring this gap, the gap of the full thickness of these knives. This one is much more robust in the handle, which actually takes some of my love for it away by having it this thin. I think it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't do these, the full thickness. Honestly, I think it's just such a beautiful little knife. When I put it in a hammer grip, it's just super thin. It's okay, but it's super thin. You know, I don't do this because my hands are a little too big. I come out here, and that's okay. I can really bear down on that. If I really wanted to, I could use the choil. I could come in like this. It's just a really nice little everyday carry knife. I think my only issue is the thin body, the thin profile of it, I think is a little funny. And it kind of drives me a little nuts that they didn't keep it this thick. Guys, I honestly, you know me, I try to be 100% honest with you guys about my thoughts and feelings when it comes to these knives. And I think this version looks so much better. It's crazy. It looks so much better with the color option. It looks so much better. But the light version feels better in hand because it is significantly fatter in the hand, in the overall thickness. So guys, these scales, if you haven't noticed, are dead flat from that 45 chamfer on either side the whole way across. They're dead flat. These have this really nice bowing, it's not bowing, this really nice gradual drop down here for your fingers here. This one does not have that. It's just a 45 chamfer like the rest of the handle. So it's kind of interesting. This one's quite a bit more comfortable because from the top of this knife to the top over here, interestingly enough, guys, there's so much different with this handle. I had no idea. This has a 45 chamfer and is flat the whole way across. This is rounded and then has a rounded top piece here, you know, top platform there. So that's crazy how much more comfortable this light version is in hand, especially for elongated use. Now, I have to be honest, the crazy part about these knives is even though this is in aluminum, guys, these are the exact same weight. I would almost bet $1,000 on it that these are the exact same weight. This one almost feels a little heavier, but I don't think so. I think they're the exact same weight. So maybe they tried to keep the weight the same and the outside profile the same, but the thickness they made much thinner. Now, guys, this is the slicer profile. I'm not sure, because I only got the slicer profile, I'm not sure if the other one he has that has thumb studs and a clip point, I'm not sure, or drop point, I'm not sure if it's more, whatchamacallit, thicker. I'm not sure if it's more robust. So I'd have to ask my buddy Gabe. But yeah, one thing I can tell you about this knife that I can feel right off the bat is that son of a gun is going to be super slicey. What's crazy, guys, is I really love the point profile on these for opening packages, whatever. They're just, oh, such a precise tip. I know that one's slicey. Let's see how slicey the edge on this 20 CV is. Oh my God. Guys, at least Demko is rocking the craziest. I'll tell you what, right? The Demko AD20S that I had straight from Demko that I sold in my knife sale. Oh my God, guys. This is one of the best edges I've had on a folder. It is so slicey, so slicey. Oh man. Even with the DLC on there, it's super slicey. That's a very impressive edge. Definitely needs broken a little bit. Honestly, guys, oh, I hate to say this, but this one takes the cake. I like this one a lot better. It's a lot more comfortable in hand, bigger handle profile, bigger presence in your hand. This one feels like I'm going to break it. But I have to be honest, it's a lot better looking. Aesthetics are very important to some knife guys. You know, I'm telling you guys, some guys really care almost more about the aesthetics. Like a lot of guys I know that are, you know, still use their knives. They would rather use a more uncomfortable knife if it looked better than have a more comfortable knife that doesn't look better. Or, you know what I'm trying to say. They would rather use a more uncomfortable knife if it looked better, as opposed to having a worse looking knife that is more comfortable in hand. So honestly, I'm really impressed with this. The overall mechanics of it and finished product is beautiful. Oops, I think I hear my old Samsung alarm going off. Man, I gotta turn that phone back in. I just got the iPhone, so it's a little bit of a changeover. But yeah, guys, so that was just kind of a brief unboxing and first impressions. Let's get rid of this paper of the Shark Cub premium version. This is the light, and it's an AUS 10 with just these kind of plastic injection molded handles, but it's much more comfortable in hand than this one. It's very strange. I mean, this one's pretty comfortable still in an in a overall profile, perimeter profile. Let me pull you guys back. Oop. In a perimeter profile, as far as on my fingers here and the back of my hand, it's still comfortable for sure. Trust me, it's for as thin as it is, it's very comfortable. But it doesn't have that full grip as much as this one does because the handles are quite thicker. So it's a tough draw. Honestly, I think I like the aesthetics of this one better, but it's a little less comfortable. And it has that 20 CV for edge retention. It's probably great. Guys, a lot of people still discredit 20 CV for some reason, like it's this old bare bones steel. 20 CV, 9 times out of 10, not 9 times out of 10, 20 CV half the time will have better edge retention than your Magna Cut, depending on who it's from. So, you know, don't give up on 20 CV yet. I have some old fixed blades that were in 20 CV that are just nasty as a badger. They'll just keep the hits and keep rolling. They're not chipping. They're not having any edge retention problems. I do like this knife. I mean, it's just a really good looking, you know, it's a handsome knife. Quite a bit thinner in profile. Little less comfy, but it's a very good looking knife. It's got a slicey little blade. It is a tiny little thing. It's the same almost exact size as the Para 3. So let me give you guys a size comparison real quick before we call it a night here. It is the day after Christmas, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are still resting up from that first day back today or whatever's going on. Maybe you have your first day back tomorrow. So I'm going to go in-betweeners. So we got the TRM Atom. I'll set this guy up here. This is the guy we're really looking at today. So the TRM Atom is quite a bit bigger. Guys, this is a tiny folder. I'm trying to find some stuff that I have that would be comparable in size, but I don't. These are my smallest folders for sure. And we got the TRM Shadow. This one, I still haven't been able to sell. I guess I thought they were a lot more sought after than I thought. But it's a really cool folder. And I guess I'll keep it in the collection for a while. Yeah, TRM's one of my favorites, guys. TRM Atom here. TRM Shadow. Definitely cool. I really like that Merlot micarta. Actually, while I'm on the subject of Merlot micarta, I ordered a slab or two of this micarta because a customer wants an EDC knife made with Merlot micarta and Rhino Gray G10 liners. So we're going to give that a shot and see how it pops. I think it's going to be really cool, and I'm glad I took a suggestion from a customer for sure. This is the Spyderco Indela K390, one of my old users, old favorites. Quite a bit bigger, about 1.25 inches bigger. Yeah, guys, I don't have anything else that's really that size. I'll show it next to a VECP, my VECP Tonto. Just dwarfs it. I don't have a lot of small folders, which is funny, because they're really growing on me. Guys, I was a full-size folder kind of gal for a long time. I loved the full-size folders. Bigger, better. Love the Cold Steels and the full-size Demkos. And the Freeman was like one of my grail knives for a full-size button lock folder. And the funniest part is part of it was the Para 3. When I got a Para 3, man, I'm telling you, it changed the game on folder size for everyday carry folders for me. Now, I love carrying smaller stuff like this. So, guys, as you can see, I laid out a pretty good map of which one you should get. This one's 80, this 90 maybe after taxes. This one's like 230, 220, somewhere in there. This one is aluminum with 20 CV, both made in Taiwan. This one's a DLC on the blade, obviously. It's a very beautiful knife. Very good looking color. And I don't mind the pocket clip on these at all. And then this one's a little more comfortable in hand and has that nice stone-washed AUS 10 blade on it. So guys, you have to make up your own mind on which one you like better. These, I'll put a link to Blade HQ and to Knife Center. Knife Center has some of these, I believe. So I'll put a link to both of those websites, and I'm going to mess around with this thing, get it broken in, and try to get that action a little better. Guys, the shark lock, this Demko signature shark lock, is fantastic on his larger stuff, but I've noticed with smaller knives that don't have a heavy blade, it takes a lot more. It's not as fidgety because it kind of takes a lot more jerk to get them to swing around because they're significantly lighter blades. But man, what a slicey little guy. Guys, I hope you have a fantastic week this week. Thank you so much for everything and all your support. I hope you guys have a really great week and a great New Year's coming up. So thanks for watching my brief unboxing of the Demko Shark Cub Premium version.